This is all Greek to me. A trader named Eric said that to me on the phone last week. He's been trading for over 20 years. The dude is sharp. He made more money in the markets than most people make in a lifetime. And when I started talking about processors and RAM and storage, he just sighed and he said those exact words. Eddie, this is all Greek to me. And you know what I told him? Good. You're not supposed to understand this stuff. That's literally my job. Look, if you've ever felt stupid trying to figure out what computer to buy for trading, if you've ever stared at a spec sheet and felt your eyes glaze over, this video is for you. And I promise you, by the end of it, you're going to feel 100 times more confident. Because here's a truth that nobody talks about. Some of the smartest, most successful traders I've ever met are completely lost when it comes to computers. They can read a chart like it's a children's book, but ask them what a CPU does, and they look at you like you just spoke Klingon. There's no shame in that. None. I had a trader named Jesus tell me, and I'm quoting him word for word, Eddie, I know how to trade like a shit, but I don't know how to put a computer together. And I just laughed because that's exactly the kind of person I built my whole business for. So let me ask you something. Do you know how the engine in your car works? The pistons, the fuel injection, the timing belt? Probably not. And you know what? It doesn't matter. You don't need to be a mechanic to know you need a reliable car that won't break down on the highway when you're late for something important. A trading computer is exactly the same. You don't need to understand how it works. Now, here's where most people get tripped up. They go on YouTube, they find some 23-year-old in a gaming chair, throw around words like single core performance and Cinemark scores and frame rates per second. And within about 90 seconds, they feel like they need a computer science degree just to place a trade. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to translate all of that into plain English. No jargon, no geek speak, no showing off. Just the three things that actually matter. Let's start with the part that everybody obsesses over, the CPU. The CPU is the engine of the computer, the central processing unit. It's the engine. That's it. That's the whole explanation. Bigger engine, faster everything. Your charts update quicker, your scanners run smoother, your orders fire off without that gut-wrenching half-second delay. Now here's the part that those gaming channels won't tell you straight. There's a magic number, and I want you to actually write this one down. Your computer's engine needs a benchmark score of at least 45,000 to handle serious day trading in 2026. Below that number, and you're going to feel the lag the second the market gets volatile. And volatility is exactly when you can't afford for your computer to freeze. And you don't have to understand how that number is calculated. You just have to know it exists. And you have to know whether your machine clears it, which, by the way, is something you can check tonight in about 2 minutes, and I'll show you how at the end. Think of this score like horsepower on that engine. The higher the number, the better. But here's a counterintuitive part, and this is the thing that nobody tells the average trader. For trading, the engine isn't actually the most important piece. Everybody thinks it is, but it's not. The most important piece is RAM. And let me explain RAM in the simplest way I possibly can. RAM is your desk space. Every chart, every scanner, every order window you open is another stack of paper you lay out on that desk. Run out of desk space, and your computer starts shoving papers in a drawer and digging them back out one at a time. And that digging is the lag and the freeze you feel mid-trading session. Here's a real-world example. A trader running NinjaTrader with 6 charts and a couple of domes open will choke on 16 gigabytes of RAM by lunchtime. Add a browser, add a Zoom call with his trading buddies, and the whole thing turns into molasses. Bump that same trader up to 32 gigabytes of RAM, and suddenly everything's smooth. That's not a small difference. That's a difference between catching a setup and watching it run away from you. So here's a second number I want you to write down. 32 gigabytes of RAM is the floor for serious trading. And if you're running Thinkorswim or a wall of scanners, 64 gigabytes is where you want to stop thinking about RAM ever again. RAM matters more than the engine for trading. Counterintuitive, but it's the single biggest reason cheap machines freeze when it counts. Now, before I give you the third piece, let me hand you something that makes the whole process even easier. It's called The Complete Guide to Trading Computers, and it's written specifically for traders who hate tech. Plain English, no jargon, no 23-year-old talking down to you. Just exactly what to look for so you never feel lost on a spec sheet ever again. It's completely free. Grab it from the link in the description before you spend a dime on any machine. Okay, the third piece, storage. Think of storage like a filing cabinet. It's where all your stuff lives when the computer is turned off. Your trading platform, your settings, your saved layouts. And there's a fast kind of storage and a slow kind of storage. The fast kind is called NVMe SSD. The slow kind is an old school spinning hard drive. They call it an HDD. The slow kind is what was in computers 15 years ago, and it's a 65-year-old technology. And unfortunately, a lot of cheap machines at big box stores still cram them in to save a few bucks. Here's all you need to know. Get the fast kind, the latest NVMe SSD. The fast kind boots your computer in seconds and loads your trading platforms almost instantaneously. The slow kind makes you sit there watching a spinning circle while the market moves without you. That's it. Those are the three things: the engine, the memory, and the filing cabinet. The CPU, the RAM, and the storage. You now understand 90% more than the people walking into a Best Buy right now. But I want you to take this one step further, because I know some of you are thinking, Eddie, I still feel like I need to understand all this before I buy anything. No, you don't. And here's why. When I'm on a sales call, the traders who get the best machines aren't the ones who studied the benchmarks for 3 weeks. They're the ones who tell me three simple things. What do you trade? How many monitors do you want? And what platforms do you use? That's the whole conversation. You tell me that, and I'll handle every single technical decision for you. You don't have to know what RAM goes with what processor. You don't have to figure out which graphics card runs 4 monitors. That's my job. That's what I do all day, every day. I had a trader say to me, and this is one of the most common things I hear, Eddie, I trust you, whatever you think. And honestly, that's the smartest position you can take. You're an expert at trading. Let me be the expert at the machine. Another guy kept asking, which is the best? Just tell me which one is the best. And I love that, because that's a man who knows his time is worth more than 3 weekends of research. So here's my advice if you hate tech. Stop trying to become a computer person. You don't need to be. You just need to push the easy button. Know these 3 things: what you trade, how many monitors you want, and what platform you use. Get a machine with an engine that scores over 45,000, get at least 32 gigabytes of memory, and get the fast filing cabinet, the NVMe SSD. That's a complete professional trading grade machine. And I know you just understood every word of my explanation, didn't you? That's the whole point. This was never as complicated as those gaming channels made it sound. They want you confused, because confused people watch longer videos. I want you confident, because confident traders make better decisions at the keyboard and at the checkout. So the next time somebody hits you with a wall of specs and your eyes glaze over, just remember: engine, memory, filing cabinet. And then you've got it. Now here's exactly what I want you to do before the market opens tomorrow. First, head to the link in the description and run our free benchmark test. Takes about 2 minutes, and it tells you the one thing that actually matters: whether your current machine clears that 45,000 score, or whether it's quietly costing you money in trades. If it falls short, don't guess. Don't go do research for 3 weekends. Just pick up the phone and call us. Tell us what you trade, tell me how many monitors you want to use, and tell us what platforms you use, and we'll build a machine around you so your screen never freezes when there's real money on the line. And do me one more favor, slam the subscribe button, because next week I'm breaking down the exact setup that survives a volatile open without a single hiccup, and you don't want to be guessing when that one drops. And if you want to see the absolute ultimate trading computer that we build, watch this video next. My name is Eddie Z. Thanks for watching. May the trend be with you.